Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Napoleon Total, and today we're back with another Enlisted video. And today we're going to be talking about the Westland Whirlwind Mark 1, which has been given to us via the Enlisted event, which is actually pretty cool. Of course, this video has been made possible for the friends at Discord because apparently my device, Enlisted, has a glitch, and essentially what happened was that the Whirlwind came late one day for me, so I had to wait another day to do the Whirlwind. And while during this time, some of my members were like, "Yay, we got the Whirlwind!" And I was like, "Okay, I'll just wait another day." But that said, the Whirlwind is here for me, and let's just get started with the history. The Westland Whirlwind was designed after a special modification used by the British Air Ministry. The specification called for a cannon-armed day and night fighter. The said Air Ministry wanted a top speed of at least 130 kilometers per hour at an altitude of 4,600 meters. Out of 5 designs offered by the companies, the Air Ministry decided to go with Westland's design for several important reasons. The cannons were mounted on the nose, so the recoil does not affect the accuracy of the gun. There was no convergence problems as compared to the other single-engine fighters with mounted guns. The requirement also led to the world's first bubble canopies on the plane. However, the decision to arm the Spitfire with cannons and the development of other twin engines, such as the Bristol Viewfighter, as along with the Whirlwind, became less and less useful. The first batch of Rolls-Royce engines were also delayed. It was found that the engines were severely underpowered and the drum magazines used to feed the cannons were in small capacity. All this results in the Whirlwind's cancellation and only result with the RAF getting 2 of these planes, which is kind of depressing. That said, let's move on to the stats, because the stats are not that great. It is at tier 3, which, as we can later see, is going to be a problem. It has a crew of 1, it has an armament of 2 500-pound bombs, GPHE bombs, I believe, and it also has 2 20mm Hispano cannons, of which you have 4 of them. The only issue is that you have 240 rounds. The maximum speed is 596 kilometers per hour, with a maximum climb rate of 19 and a turn rate of 19. And that said, let's just run on to the verdict, because I highly suggest that you do not use this. And it is simple. It is a good plane, I'm just gonna give you that. It's a good plane, it's a really good plane. Although it has 2 engines, it is slower than most planes, such as the P-47 and P-38. And as you can tell, this is no fighter, this is an attacker. Which also leads to the other question, because the fact that although it is faster than planes such as the Dauntless and the A-20, the flight characteristics of this plane is absolutely rubbish. Although the flaps don't break at 400 TAS, it flies like a brick. The thing about this plane is that unlike the Dauntless or the A-20, this thing cannot turn. You can roll, but you can't really turn to face incoming fighters, whereas the Dauntless can, and the A-20, well, it's not meant for that roll, but it still can do slightly better. The guns can rip any plane within seconds, which is the only benefiting thing. Although the issue with the guns is that you only have 240 rounds. You do have 4 of them, which means your rounds go quicker than you expected, and although they are 20mm Spano rounds, which means they can rip planes, they're not that good against heavily armored targets such as bombers. But against any other twin-engine fighter or fighter-bomber, it will do very, very well. Needless to say, they're not 30 mils, but these 20 mils can rip planes very, very quickly. Like I said, this plane flies as a brick, meaning it cannot turn, so you do have a problem aiming said 20mm cannons. Said 20mm cannons also have a hard time hitting and destroying APCs, although it is not uncommon for them not to destroy APCs. But if you're talking about higher end APCs, they will be a problem. The 2 500-pound bombs are good at taking out practically any target. These are the same 500-pound bombs found on the Tempest, I believe, and pretty much the exact same bombs that you find on the P-47, although the P-47 only has 1. Hence, the biggest issue is the fact that this thing is at tier 3. For those who don't know, tier 3 is one of the worst tiers. I absolutely hate tier 3, so much so that I think I'll make a video about it. But you are either going to get up tiered or down tiered, and as of Enlisted right now, you are definitely going to get up tiered. And essentially, what's going to happen is that you're going to be fighting players who have tier 5 weapons, and this Whirlwind is not that good. I would actually say even at tier 2 is not that good. I wouldn't bring out the Whirlwind at tier 2, much less tier 5. And at tier 5, you should be using planes such as the P-47, the A-20, and even the Viewfighter, I would argue, is much better than this plane. Mostly because the Viewfighter has better flight characteristics and has the ability to do area damage. So for those who don't know, the P-47 has the ability to use rockets, whereas the Whirlwind can only bomb one target at a time. And of course the P-47 can do that and just horribly bombard everything out of existence. Once again, the flight characteristics are not that good, and it's at tier 3, and pretty much useless compared to the Corsair, P-47, and even the A-20 with its massive rocket and bomb loads. Needless to say, I wouldn't suggest that you use it. It's cool plane, I have to give you that, but like in history, the underpowered engines, the terrible turn rate, and the low amount of ammo is going to kill this plane before it even does damage. And although I was able to get a few kills with the 500-pound bombs, it's just not enough. Well, at least compared to the P-47, that is. If you're going to be fighting in tier 5, just use the P-47. That's it. That's it. Have a great day, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one.